Hello, Aries. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Witch's Tarot by Ellen Dugan, illustrated by Mark Evans. At the bottom here, you can see the spelling a little better, maybe. And there's also llewellyn.com if you want to check out that website if you're interested. This is, of course, a publication from 2012, but you know, I think that's still active. Anyway, supportive oracle cards, Wisdom of the Hidden Realms by Colette Baron Reed, websites for Colette in the back of the book if I can pick it up. ColetteBaronReed.com. There's also a couple other websites down there too. If you want to check those out, feel free to freeze frame and check out whatever you would like. Okay. What do we have for Aries? I usually look forward to the Aries readings because they're very, right to the point, very bold. I think they're enjoyable, kind of refreshing. Like, we're not going to beat around the bush. This is just what it is. That's usually how the energy goes. I'm assuming that's how it's going to go today. Because now that I've said that, I'm like, we're going to do that, right? That's how this is going to work, right? And what is this? Somebody, okay. Okay. Somebody okay, the energy is already throwing me around. Do you like this person? I think you do. In fact, I'm gonna push it and say you like this person a lot. So it could be somebody you look out for, which could be a child or a coworker or anybody that you feel like you need to look out for whatever reason. I feel like it's more of that type of thing, like somebody you look out for. They do show affection. They do seem to be loyal-ish. Their energy is a little weird. In the sense of they are kind of loyal, but I feel like you're kind of seeing it for what it is. I do think you see this person for who they are, in the sense of you can't really totally depend on them. Which I know this is going to sound odd, especially when I'm going to show you the moon card. But I feel like you see them for who they are, even though the moon card is here, in the sense of I know that they're not totally loyal. I know that I can't totally depend on them. And it kind of depends on the day what they're going to do. And sometimes I have no idea. That's how they are. I know it's the moon card, but it's kind of that's not really a changeable thing. That's not something that's surprised you. I feel like you've known that for quite a while. And I feel like it's one of those things where that's how they are. And this is usually an energy that I would say Aries gets kind of I don't know about that. But for whatever reason, you're kind of you look out for this person. Whatever's going on in this person's life, I feel like you're looking at them they really can't seem to pull it together beyond what they are. They handle things day by day. Things are very random. They're not totally loyal, but sometimes they are. It's very interesting that this is something that you're... you do care about them. Somebody you look out for. Could be any type of connection. I know it says sacred union. It doesn't have to be romance, but it's basically somebody where, for whatever reason, your heart goes out to them. You're somebody needs to look out for them, and I feel like they deserve a chance. You can understand random, but the way that they're random, I just feel you feel like they just don't have complete control of their own life, and they don't seem to be able to grasp it. It's kind of it's somebody you really care about, but you're I don't know if they can do better, but I feel like they're a good person. It's kind of I think that's what it is. It's kind of they screw up, they do things that are weird, things that I don't really care for, but I do feel deep down that they're a good person. I just feel they have issues that I couldn't begin to fix for them. I keep getting you look out for this person. You very much care for them. I feel they have looked out for you on occasion. This is also that person I feel when they get caught up in their own thoughts, they think people are against them who are not against them. And maybe they vent about that on occasion. They might search somebody out and start yelling at them thinking they've done something, but they haven't. That might be I kind of cringe to say this, but there could be a little bit of mental illness there, maybe subjective. Like we're not diagnosing anybody, but like it kind of feels like that to me. Kind of like they don't have control of their own. They don't have control. It doesn't feel like they have control. You look out for them. You try to, is what I'm getting. Currently, the energy is good. Things seem to be pretty good for them right now. I feel like you try to stay in touch with them because it seems to be that's easier if you try to like touch base with them at least 2 to 3 times a week. Some of you are only touching base once a week. I get that. But even if it's once a week, you're trying to have like a fairly good conversation, just so you know if anything's going wrong. It does seem like this person's very blunt, very bold. So if there's something they're not happy about, it usually blurts right out of their mouth. Ironically, I think that kind of makes you more comfortable. Kind of like, well, if there is a problem, they're going to say something, so at least I'll know. It may not come out very pretty, but I'll handle that like I need to. And I feel like a lot of you 2 to 3 times a week you touch base with this person. Maybe some of you just once, but if it is just once, there's a detailed conversation. And currently that's going well. You try to think where they're going, where things are heading. If you see them starting to have a problem with somebody, you try to like cut that off at the pass and find out, is there really a problem there? If it's not, I will find out for them and I'll see if I can help them with that. This is a very interesting Aries connection. Although, when you feel like it's the right thing to do, you will do what you need to do. That's just how it is. I get that. So, I don't know. This is interesting. I'm like... Because I feel like a lot of times you're not right on this person. You're not there 24/7. But you do look out for them. It's very interesting how you do it. Because I don't feel like I'm constantly, like, cutting their meat for them, feeding them every spoonful, making sure, picking out their clothes for them, helping them walk out to the car. I'm not doing everything like that. But I feel like what you're doing is you're, again, touching base 2 to 3 times a week. What are they thinking? What's going on? Trying to get ahead of things. Trying to help them sort things out before they become a problem. Not overly, I'm not, hovering, but I feel like I am touching base and trying to help. I don't feel like I have the energy or want or need to, I can't micromanage like that. I feel like I'll drive myself nuts and them, so I'm not going to do that. I feel like there's a problem coming, but I don't think it's going to last that long. Somebody else is starting a problem. Somebody else actually is starting a problem here. You got 2 kings coming in that actually are compatible. King of Fire, King of Wand. No, King of Wands are fire. King of Fire, King of Air. It's very... I don't even know what to say. Somebody else is stepping in and they're like picking this person apart. They're literally starting a problem with this person. They are like starting stuff with 2 people. 2 very strong people for whatever reason. And they're kind of picking apart what this person is doing and how they're handling things and what should happen and what shouldn't happen. Yeah, I don't know. That's something. That's interesting to me. Because I feel like what's going on here is when that starts to happen, the Phoenix shows up, which is kind of like, this is where the Phoenix goes to ash. But the thing is with the Phoenix, it rises again and it burns even brighter than it did before. At least this time it will. They're going to move on from that. There's going to be changes. They might be literally moving. If you're not their, even if you are their family, I feel like they're moving in with somebody else. This person might be moving in with family or moving in with somebody that's like family to them, somebody that they very much care about, very much trust. They get knocked down, they have to get back up again, and then this cycle kind of starts again. I feel like we're back at square one with the Page of Pentacles, which is backed up. It feels like the same energy. These are 2 different cards. They have 2 different meanings, but it feels like the same meaning to me, like we're going back to square one and we're starting the whole process over again. That's how these 2 come together for me. It's a little stressful, but I feel like what they're saying is like this this might need some type of intervention. If this reading is hitting for you, whoever this person is, the way they're kind of handling life right now, I feel like they're kind of like holding on by a thread. This isn't going well. And even though they're picking themselves back up and they're starting the process again, there seems to be the need for some type of intervention. So even though you're doing what you can, other people might need to be added in. So you might want to think about who else can help you assist this person, because something's really off with them, and I don't feel like this is something that's going to improve in a good way. Improve in a good way. Well, not for them. I feel like you're not going to like how it improves. How's that? If we don't get some type of intervention, because I feel like this next time around, I don't know, because the fact that I said burned brighter than ever before, like the higher you climb, the further you can fall. If you follow me. So the higher you climb, when you slip, the farther that fall is. So I'm kind of nervous about what's coming up here for this person. But if you want to get around this, like, other people have to get involved, and other people might have to take this over for you. I feel like this person doesn't have control. I keep getting that. And I feel like when they're making decisions, they think they're making good decisions, but they're not. It's a general read. Take it with a huge mountain worth of salt. I don't think they're capable of making those type of decisions. So, I don't know. This is an interesting one. I'm surprised this is so... It feels very detailed to me. So, I guess we'll see where that goes. I'm going to shut this down here and let it be. That's intense. I feel like this is intense. So, if this is hitting, they're just letting you know other people might have to get involved if you want this to actually improve. Aries tends to want... Aries, in my opinion, when you go at something, you're like, I'm going at it to deal with it, so it's not as bad, so it actually does improve. Like, if it's rough, if it's difficult to deal with, then so be it, as long as it gets better, as long as it improves, as long as we increase the value in some context. This is not improving. This is just repeat, and this next time, it's going to be worse than the last. Like, this next time it falls, not this one right now, but the one after this, is going to be worse than the previous ones. So it's kind of like, well, if you have to bring other people in, and I do feel like Aries is that one. Like, there may be people that I can bring in that'll help that I don't really care for, but if they can actually make this better, I'll suck it up and do it, because that's what needs to happen to improve the situation, depending on how important the situation is to you, of course. All right, I'm going to let it go. All right, thank you for watching. I hope that helps. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thank you again for watching, and have a great day.